You're listening to another episode of Cloud and Clear, SADA's Cloud Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Rowan, and today we are pleased to welcome Alexis Petrichos, Director of Strategic Partnerships and Ecosystem at Chili Pepper, to the show. Now, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel on your listening platform of choice to stay up to date on the latest Cloud and Clear episodes from SADA. Alexis, welcome to the show, my friend.
It's good to be here. Thank you for welcoming me, Rowan. Just maybe I can start by translating that director of strategic partnerships and ecosystem, because it's a tough terminology. So just to explain it a bit, that means I run our integration partnerships over here at Chili Piper, and I also lead parts of our marketing, mainly events marketing and everything around community marketing, influencer marketing, and partner marketing.
Fantastic. Well, we're delighted to have you on the show. Maybe you can start off with just telling us a little bit in general about Chili Piper.
Well, we're shifting into a platform approach, which makes the pitch a bit harder to do. But I'll start by saying that we're handling scheduling and routing for our customers. The most popular tool we've got is called Concierge, and usually, when you're trying to buy a new software and you'll visit a website, you'll probably fill out a contact form that says get a demo or contact sales. What Chili Piper does is that it sits behind that form, and once the form is being filled, we look at the form fields, CRM data, we route that lead that's coming in to the right rep, sales rep, and we also pop up this rep's calendar in real time so they can book a slot right away. So there's no waiting between, raising your hand that you want to talk to sales and then waiting a week until your next meeting is being booked. You just do it instantly.
Fantastic. And I guess maybe you could expand upon us for a little bit on the kind of business challenges. You mentioned it a little there, but tell us more about some of the business challenges and some of the benefit that different organizations could get from Chili Piper.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe I should start from our ICP, which spans from fast growing startups that are around 50 people strong up to huge enterprises like Facebook, for example, Meta. So it really depends on the use case. Usually what they're coming to us for is when they're trying to increase what we call the speed to lead. So how fast they're responding to their leads that they're expressing interest in their tool. With Chili Piper, that's instant. So there's no even a reason to count that, because, at the moment that somebody raises their hand, they get to book a meeting right away. And besides that, we also help with the whole life cycle of scheduling. So we handle simple scheduling needs with scheduling links. We pass suggested time slots through email. So we handle all these basic scheduling needs, and also inter-team scheduling. So when an SDR is trying to book a meeting for an account executive, for example, our algorithm will tell that SDR who's the next SDA in line to take that meeting, and we'll also help them book it for them. So that's why I mentioned we're handling round robin, routing, and scheduling. And you can also distribute leads also intuitively regardless of scheduling. So let's say that you have 100 accounts in your Salesforce instance, and you want to distribute it based on any kind of rule set in 10 SDRs, based on region, size, whatever you want. Just click on a button and these accounts go out to the team through the round robin motion. So I think I covered most of it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that function that you described on the internal booking system. Maybe you could talk a bit more to that in the sense of what are the benefits for the individual sales rep in using Chili Piper as a solution, and I guess what benefit could they see? How could it help improve their work, or I guess help them close deals, help them source and close deals ultimately?
Yeah, I guess that's the goal. I've been in SDR. Actually, it's a funny story how I started working for Chili Piper. I made a case internally at my previous company of using Chili Piper, but it didn't go through. But I liked the tool a lot, so I applied for a role in Chili Piper, and I started as a sales rep in Chili Piper as well. So I saw the actual benefits when I moved teams. And when you're trying to prospect as an SDR, let's say, and you finally get somebody on the phone, and after a while, discovery and everything, you convince them to take that meeting. The only thing you don't want is to spend another 2 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes coordinating on the calendars and finding out who's the next in line and all that. So at the click of a button, what we do is that we just show the whole availability of the account executive that's next in line. We don't we help the SDR not spend a single second on thinking about what should happen next. We just help them book that meeting straight away. And also, when it comes to the prospecting through emails, they're able to send suggested time slots, past calendar links, like everything to make that scheduling part easier. So yeah, I mean, the main benefit is, first of all, not spending a lot of time on the phone coordinating on the time, and then also keeping lead distribution equal, so you're not back and forth fighting with the account executive team on who took most meetings this month.
Fantastic. Yeah, sounds like it'd be a really, really joyous experience using Chili Pepper as a sales rep. And a lot of that saved time, of course, can be used for more fruitful, higher value activities. And that's great. I wonder as well if you can talk from sort of the other side, which is from the customer's perspective. How do they interact with the technology? And I guess maybe the concierge service in particular you mentioned, when you're browsing a website looking for some information and a next step. How is that experience for the customer, and how does it sort of benefit them in terms of their buying experience?
Well, I don't know if anybody from the audience has been through that buying journey, but it's very disappointing when you finally, you've done your research, you found what you're interested in, and you want to express your interest, and like finally getting a call, and they drag you like through multiple discovery questions, and like again, you need to follow up through an email. Sometimes you don't even get the response, depending on how busy the sales team is. So, well, obviously from buyer experience, when you're going on a website, and at the moment that you fill out a form, which typically takes like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 seconds, because most of our info is already saved on this form. So you just fill the form and you get to book a meeting on the first 3, 4 seconds of like expressing your interest. It's certainly very, very, you get that gratification that you're getting what you wanted, basically, and it also accelerates the sales cycle. For sure, from both sides, because also when a buyer wants to buy something, they want to buy fast. They don't want to be dragged into different, like, I don't know, 1,000 calls just to finally get a demo.
Right. So ultimately, from the customer's perspective, they're going to get to speak to the most relevant person and find the best information that they're looking for, relevant to whatever they're trying to purchase. So it actually benefits them greatly as well as the seller. Everyone wins, which is, of course, great. Maybe moving gears for a second, could you talk to your relationship a little bit with SADA and Google Cloud, and maybe how that's impacted the company and your relationship, and how that powers some of this amazingness that we're talking about?
Yeah, for sure. We were Google Cloud hosted from day one. So I did my research a bit, because obviously I belong on the commercial side of our business, while these decisions were made on the engineering and product side. But they told me, SADA was the company that we were able to trust, because you had the majority of your customers were in our space, and like we just, it was an easy decision for us. And then when it comes to Google Cloud, I asked our engineering directors, and they told me what they love the most is the Google Kubernetes engine, if I'm saying it correctly, and the logging integration.
Well, we're very glad to be supporting you. And I guess that would maybe lead into my next question in terms of, well, firstly, in terms of sort of industry trends and where the market's going in terms of sales software and how things can develop. What have you guys been looking at in terms of your roadmap and things that you're looking to sort of double down on and develop more functionality for?
What I would say is that every marketeer's duty right now is to be able to educate and enable both their buyers, but also their customers right now, because we're also selling on base a lot within our customer base. So we need to be able to provide much more accurate educational content and reach these buyers wherever they are. And at the point that interest has started developing and we finally got them interested, we need to provide the automation that helps them express their interest at the moment that they want it. So we fit somewhere in that space as well, where we want to create all that automation that's required to connect buyers and sellers in a way, and help both sides, buyers from the buyers buyer experience perspective, and also sellers from everything around distribution, like keeping everything tidy and nice internally. And obviously, we can't forget about AI. So one thing that we're looking in the next months is we're going to launch the first AI-powered scheduler, trying to make sellers' lives even easier by using Chili Piper. Just maybe I can spotlight one of the features that I really can't wait to see from my end. So we have a button. With a click of a button, again, you will be able to send suggested time slots. So the AI scraper is going on your calendar, picking time slots that it says free, and sends these time slots directly through Gmail. So it's something I can't wait. Like with a click of a button, you just send over some suggested time slots for your calendar. So there's no picking and choices and options. You just allow the tool to do it for itself. That's one of the many things that this new tool.
Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic feature. It sounds similar in Google Workspace. In Google Calendar, there's a find a time feature where you can overlay different people's calendars, and it's, I guess, a kind of similar idea. But I love that idea of AI, and something that's very prominent in our industry at the moment. There's a lot of buzz and hype around is generative AI in particular. So I wanted to ask you, any plans in terms of including some kind of generative AI in the future? And I guess more broadly, how do you feel like AI is going to change the nature of buying and selling? And how is Chili Piper going to fit into that?
Well, it's absolutely changing everything. From our end, we're still looking at our product roadmap and seeing how we can get it in there, and like maybe how it will influence one of our the tools that are coming. But also as a vendor, as a buyer ourselves, we're trying to see what kind of tools we can use to optimize all our functions from the marketing side, the sales side, and trying to figure out how it can support our growth. I would say it's the key goal for commercial teams right now is figuring out the perfect balance between automation and personalization, because at some point, if everything is powered by AI, you need to stand out somehow, and marketeers have that challenge for the next months to come and years, basically, to find out how they can stand out in a perfectly automated and AI powered world, and it's an extremely hard task.
Right, absolutely, I agree with you. As AI tools become more and more honed in on your individual wants and needs and preferences, the sales messaging is going to become fantastically personalized. A little bit terrifying, but I guess that's the world we live in these days.
Yeah.
But anyway, Alexis, is there anything finally you'd like to share before we maybe show folks where they can learn a bit more about Chili Piper if they'd like to read? Any last messages?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to learn more about Chili Piper, the best way to do it is just go on our website and ask for a demo. You'll get it right away. I promise that. So I guess we can leave out with these final remarks, but obviously happy to connect myself and talk about all the industry trends and everything you need to know. And as I run integrations for Chili Piper, I just really, really admire the work we've been doing and feel proud of the work we've been doing on the ecosystem front. Because in a world that's evolving, it's essential for your tools to connect together and create smart place and everything. Our website, by the way, is www.chilipiper.com, so you can go there. Chili is written with one L, FYI, and yeah, you'll find a lot of helpful content over there.
Wonderful. Well, Alexis, thank you so much for joining us, and that was a fantastic conversation. And folks, make sure to like and subscribe to our show, because this year we'll be offering exclusive insights from leaders like Alexis, and you won't want to miss it. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Cloud and Clear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Cloud and Clear. Check the show notes for links to this week's topics, and don't forget to connect with us on Twitter @CloudandClear and our website, sada.com. Be sure to rate and review the show on your favorite podcast app.